holding all the words, cards I feel 2 feet tall. I'll stand and shout, no holding back. Do or die, gonna dig myself a hole. Oh, do or die, gonna dig myself a hole. Now I'm hanging tough, and I'm never falling back. When defense fails, I'm going on the attack. I stand and shout, no holding back. Do or die, gonna dig myself a hole. Gonna dig myself a hole. Oh, do or die, gonna dig myself a hole. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the show. Happy New Year, everybody. We are already in 2021, and as my good friend Alan, who is Photography, Light and Magic over in Glasgow, says, in Scotland it's tradition, you bring your own carry-out. Yes, absolutely, and we have done that. I have eaten way too much. I've had at least 3 bottles of beer, and I'm on my second one of these. So we've been having a good old time. We are in full lockdown here in Edinburgh, so no celebrations taking place outside. Unfortunately, normally Edinburgh has a world-class fireworks display, but not this year. So instead, we had a family celebration indoors, and we played games, and we ate lots, and we drank quite a bit. Me and my wife did. We put away quite a wee bit. So yeah, we've had a lot of fun. And I thought it'd be nice to allow the fun to kind of spill over to talking to you guys, at least for a wee while. And I figured that maybe what we could talk about is we could put in the chat our hopes and dreams for all of our musical endeavors for 2021, whatever those might be. And we can now put, or at least we here in the UK and in Europe, we can put 2020 behind us and look forward to what we might be able to accomplish with 2021. So, if you're not done yet, and you're not there yet, because in the United States you've got at least 6 hours to go, 5-6 hours to go before you get there. So, yeah. Tell us what you're thinking about what you would like to achieve musically in 2021. Your aspirations, what you want to achieve, how you want to grow as a musician, how you want to grow as a mix engineer, how you want to grow as a songwriter. Get all of that stuff in the chat. That'd be great for us to be able to talk about that. So I've got some aspirations for 2021. And I'm looking forward to being able to share those with you guys, and how I'd like to see this channel grow as well, because we have 4,355 subscribers right now. I'd love to see that grow and get up to 5,000 this year. That would be great. And we're not that far away from it, so we should be able to achieve that, I think, maybe by the springtime. And if we do, we'll have a little celebration to celebrate 5,000 subscribers. And then, yeah, I have some plans afoot to grow the channel and to make some new content and some new videos and and just change things up a little bit. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the songs that I've started writing again. With lockdown, finding time to write again has been a thing. So yeah, I've been writing songs about what we've been through in the last 12 months and just finding humor and fun in some of the crazy things that have happened this year. Pandemic notwithstanding, there have been some very, very entertaining things that have happened, and people in high society and high places making fools of themselves, which is always, for me anyway, provides ample material for songwriting. So, there's a whole bunch of songs that I have started working on because I've been inspired by things that people have said, things that people have done, and, you know, I like to satirize such things for my songs, so that's going to be great as well. So I'm looking to have a new record out the end of 2021. And it's probably just going to be me doing everything because, with kind of the world in various stages of lockdown, it's a lot harder to actually be able to get some of my former bandmates and some of my other friends and associates in the business to record. So it's probably going to be me and maybe one or two guest soloists, but pretty much that is going to be it. I'm going to be the rhythm section and the vocals and the backing vocals, probably. And I'm probably going to have to do some drum programming, which I like doing. I like doing drum programming. Too much champagne. I like doing drum programming. But here's the thing. It's very time consuming to get it right and to get it natural sounding, which is what I prefer. Being that I am actually a drummer by trade, it's important to me that any drum programming that's done sounds natural. So, I'm going to probably have to do that. But anyway, let's see who's here, and we've already got like 21 people here, which is amazing for a what would we be? We would be on for you guys it's a Thursday night, but for me it's Friday morning. And so yeah, it's an unusual time of day for me. So who do we have here? We've got Music to Motion says, sending this link to a couple of friends. Awesome. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. John Lake says, I'll be back. Oh, yes. Ken is here. Ken Moss says, hi. He says, Happy New Year. Goodbye, 2020. You are now hindsight. Absolutely. Thomas over in the Philippines says, good morning and Happy New Year. And Garen Livingston, good to see you, mate, over in Australia. He says, g'day, Happy New Year. 12 hours into 2021 here in Australia. Going good so far. Good, that's what I like to hear. You are definitely future boy out of everybody that is here because you are a whole half of the day ahead of me. So that's awesome. I hope you're having a good day and recovering well from all the partying the night before, which I'm sure you've done at home. So yeah, hope that's going well. Alps Media, the sponsors of Home Studio Trainer is here. He says, hello all. Hey Louis, good to see you, buddy. Welcome. Alan says, I hear there's a party here. There appears to be a party. We have like 20 people here. Happy New Year, everybody. He says, I hope this coming year ain't as messed up as this. This has been a year for the books, that's for sure. I could not agree more. And I think everybody here would totally concur that opinion. It has been a total mess. Kyle is here. Hello, Kyle. Good to see you. He says, May 2021 be much better for everybody. Absolutely. That's my prayer for everybody here as well. Alan says, I was going over one of the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter images today, and I found an intact city. All right, okay. I'm thinking of emigrating to Mars and getting off this disease-ridden rock. That does sound enticing, I have to admit. For sure. Andy Arthur, good to see you, my friend. Welcome to the show. He says, hello, my friends. Happy New Year. Let's see who else is here. Bobby Booth is here. Awesome. No show is complete without Bobby, and he's here. So let's see. You guys are having jokes at my expense. You think that I'm drunk and passed out. You think I'm trying to get the kids to bed. Actually, my wife is doing that. My wife is awesome, and she is amazing. She kind of laid on all of the snacks and everything for tonight and organized all the games and stuff. It was hilarious fun. And she's upstairs getting the kids tucked into bed. It is 1 a.m. Hopefully those kids will sleep real quick and not like stay up for ages. So there you go. And the chat continues. Everybody is saying Happy New Year to everybody. Just Bob says, how cool it is that the world wants to share this time with you, and we are so thankful you want to share it with us. Well, thank you very much. That is such a nice thing to say, Bob. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, I think it's awesome that I can gather 20 people on a live stream with relatively little notice on a night where everybody should be kind of hanging out with their families and stuff, especially at kind of, 7, 8 o'clock at night. Yeah, you know, you should kind of be hanging with your families, man. But I appreciate that you have taken the time out to come and hang out with me. I love you guys very much. You guys are the best. And I have 4,000 subscribers, nearly 4,400. It would be awesome if I could have got all of you, all of the subscribers here to my Hogmany special show. But alas, it seems that most of my subscribers are not interested in my live stream, which is a bit of a shame. Let's see. Just Bob says, last year's achievement to teach myself how to read music didn't work out, but I have this year to do that now. Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? It's a lot easier than you think. It really is a lot easier than you think. For years, I avoided it. Actually, going through university where I was actually studying for a degree in music and specializing in composition, I avoided reading music as much as possible. And I don't know why I did. I just did. I don't know why I had this hang up about reading music. And then I just decided, okay, you know, there comes a point where for the sake of my degree and my credibility with my tutors and everything else, it's just like, okay, I'm going to have to overcome this super fast and go from bare basic notation reading to, you know, degree level notation reading super fast. And I'm going to have to do it without anybody knowing. So I did. By day, I was in my classes with my fellow students where we were studying composition, and so I split my time between studying composition and studying audio. That was kind of my degree. And then by night, I was playing gigs, and I was working in a studio as well as a session drummer. And so somewhere in between all of those times, I tried to fit in teaching myself how to read music and getting my my music reading chops up to the standard that they really ought to be for doing a music degree. And I got there. It took a lot of hours, but I got there, and I was able to get it up to the standard that it needed to be, especially for performing with other of my students, where they were writing their compositions, and we all had to perform in each other's ensembles for their compositions. So I would have to read other people's charts. So I had to have my stuff together in order to be able to do that. And I got away with it. So if I can get away with it, anybody can get away with it. You just have to devote yourself. And it's, you know what? Notation is incredibly logical. That's the thing about notation, is it's very, very logical. Once you know the rules to it, and once you know the mechanics of it, that's you. It's like learning to read any language. It's like learning to read German or learning to read French. once you learn the grammar and you learn the punctuation, you learn the syntax, you know how all the words and phrases work together. Once you learn those, you can read anything and you can comprehend it. And which is the most important thing. Even if you're not reading everything, so long as you are comprehending and you are able to arrive at the correct conclusion as to what is being said, then you're away. And that's essentially how I read music. Some people read a whole bar note by note, and then they move on to their eyes move to the next bar, and so on. And they're kind of playing and reading in real time. Some people do it like that. I prefer to take in the whole page as I'm reading it. I will just look and absorb the whole page, and then I can spend the time it takes me going from the start of it to the end of the page. By the time I've got to the last line, I've worked out what the last line is because I've been gurgitating it over in my head. And that's how far in advance I read when I'm reading notation. And that means that I don't make very many mistakes when it comes to reading, because I've read that far ahead. In my head, I can be working it out and going, okay, so that's that chord, that's that chord, that's that chord, and then that phrase is spelling out the upper extensions of that chord. Okay, that's fine. Okay, I now know how that phrase goes. And then by the time I've got to it, I can play it. But if you try and read each individual note one at a time, that's when you can get lost, because you're looking at, you're zeroing in on the woods, and therefore you're not seeing the whole forest. You know what I mean? And really the best way to do it is to take a step back and look at the whole forest, and then by doing that, you are able to take in every single tree that is in your field of view. And that's the best way to learn. So, yeah, there you go. Let's see. Kyle says, hoping to convert a few friends over to Studio One. Awesome. Always good to convert people over to Studio One. I've managed to do that myself this year a few times. One of my old colleagues who I've known for 25 years. When I first met him, he was a Logic diehard, or rather what became Logic diehard. What was it called? I think it was eMagic Creator. And that's what he used. And then when Apple bought it and it became Logic, he converted wholesale, sold his PC, bought a Mac, bought straight into the whole Logic ecosystem. And that was him. And he's been a Logic user for many, many years. And now he's a Studio One convert. He still has his Mac, but he doesn't use Logic anymore. He uses Studio One. He is so impressed with Studio One 5, and it's great. And he loves it. He's just like, it's breathed fresh air into his music, which is a nice way to put it. Let's see. Andy says, hoping this year will be the year I can finally go full-time live sound engineer. Oh, Andy, that would be awesome. And you know what? You have my 100% support. I'm right there standing with you and cheering you on. I would love to see that happen for you. I would love to see you achieve that. That would be great. Garen says, I'm hoping to get more songs out of my head and down into the door and getting some well-mixed songs out there. Garen, that's great. And that's kind of mine as well, actually, because I have, as I said at the top of the show, I have a whole bunch of songs in my head that I'm ready to start recording. And it's been a while. It's been, well, I did dig myself a hole in 2020, which is the song that you heard at the start of the show. I did that in 2020. But prior to that, I hadn't really done a whole lot. I'd done a couple of singles, but yeah, hadn't really released a whole lot of material. And now I'm kind of ready to either do an EP or a full-on album. I haven't decided which yet. But yeah, that is a good aspiration to have. Sheila says, I hope to make more friends in music. Awesome. Well, that's also a good thing. To have more friends and more associates that you can get to know and work with. Alan says, my new channel, Mars, the Second Genesis, will be ready to rock and roll soon. Cool. Looking forward to your images of Mars. That'd be very cool. You've been working on the project for 3 years. Cool. That's exciting. Andy says, my New Year's Eve gig all got COVID. Oh no, at the club. No, what a shame. So no gig tonight. I'm sorry to hear that, mate. But yeah, I really hope that for you, Andy, that 2021 is the year that everything kicks off for you with live sound. That would be fantastic. Alps Media, that's my good friend Louis. He says, glad to be here. Awesome. I'm glad to have you here too. Carl says, this year I hope never to hear the dirty word COVID. Yeah, I think we might be hearing it for a little while longer, but I think, certainly with vaccines and stuff that is starting to come out for it now, I think maybe we might be beginning to see a glimmer of light at the end of the darkness. And I really don't think the electricity bill has not become overdue and they're going to cut the power off. I'm pretty sure that the light at the end of this darkness is solid and secure. It's just a matter of time, it's a matter of patience, and it's a matter of doing what is necessary. All of us together as one human body, doing the right thing for each other, standing together. And we will get through this. And we'll come out the other side. And hopefully we'll come out the other side better. Better people. More kind, more considerate, more caring, more supportive of others, more caring for others in our communities, our next door neighbors, people on our streets, people in our local communities as well. Hopefully, we are going to be a lot more sociable, and yeah, I hope all of those things really. Let's see. Cal says a nice soft cheese with cranberries, crackers, and amaretto sours are on tap for later. Awesome, that sounds good. Louis says more songwriting for me in 2021. Yeah, that would be me as well. When you say put out a record, what do you mean? CD, vinyl, download? That's a good question, John. It will probably be download, and I'll tell you why. I would love to do a vinyl because I love the sound of vinyl. But making vinyl, although a lot cheaper than it was in the 80s, is still quite expensive. And certainly mass producing it is still quite expensive. So the outlay is pretty big. And certainly not CD, and I'll tell you why. Because, again, the last time I did a CD, which was, that was 2007. And that had been my 4th or 5th CD. We had where we lived at the time, we had the whole place turned into a production line, and it just got, too big, too messy. So I won't be doing CDs or vinyl. It's probably more likely going to be download from my Bandcamp page, which I will tell you about probably in the next week or two. You'll see that a bit more. It's not quite ready yet, but you will certainly see it eventually. And Sheila's going to continue to educate herself. Awesome. Education should be a non-stop thing. We should always be learning because there is always something to learn. Andy says, I never want to hear social distance. And we're all in this together again. Well, you know what? I think those are important. And I think they will remain important for a wee while. Certainly the social distance. I think that's going to remain in place for a wee while. And I think it's important that it does. Otherwise, we're not going to get rid of this virus. And it's going to continue to kill and hurt a lot of people and destroy a lot of families. So I think it's important that we continue with the social distancing. But here's the thing. I think, sayings like we're all in this together, they can be quite pithy sayings. And I know what you mean. Because quite often, people that say that are being disingenuous because they don't really mean it. Particularly when you hear it from the mouths of politicians. They don't really mean we're all in this together. What they mean is, we're doing absolutely fine, thank you very much. we're just going to watch you guys squirm and suffer. And unfortunately, that is largely what is meant by we're all in this together. But this is a music show. It's not a politics show. But I absolutely, I actually take your point very seriously. Alan says, I used the Reason Rack plugin to, my wife bought that for me for Christmas, but she doesn't know yet. Okay, well, your secret is safe with us. There are only 21 people here on the show. I don't know how many people are going to watch the replay, but your secret is safe with us here and those that watch the replay. As long as it's not your wife, you're fine. And you got an atom as well. Awesome. Atoms are great. Let's see. Yes, let's make music, not Discord. I totally agree. Peter Brick says, Happy New Year from the UK. Happy New Year to you too, my friend Peter. And I am here in the UK as well, in Edinburgh, in Scotland. And certainly Edinburgh is a happy place at the moment. It's a very quiet place at the moment, but it still seems to be quite a happy place. I spent some time talking to folks on our street today. I am a member of the Neighborhood Watch team, and I lead one of the teams. So I talk to most of the folks in our neighborhood. I know them all, fairly well. So I'm always checking in and making sure that they're okay. And everyone seems to be, reasonably chipper, I think is the phrase. And they're doing, people are hanging tough. I think that's the thing. Certainly here in Scotland, we are, we're a tough people, and we are good at endurance and hanging in there. And, that's kind of what we're doing at the moment. Peter Brooks is in Liverpool. I love Liverpool. Liverpool has a very special place in my heart for several reasons. Number one being that my grandfather played he played football for Liverpool. He also played football for Chester, but he played football for Liverpool as well in the 1930s. And then he went to war during World War II. And was wounded and came back home in 1942. But yes, he continued his association with Liverpool pretty much for the rest of his life, which is great. And he is in the Liverpool Hall of Fame, Liverpool Football Club Hall of Fame. So it's cool to have that connection with the city of Liverpool. Plus, there's the Cavern Club. My parents, particularly my mother, I was a regular singer at the Cavern Club, and she knew all of the Beatles. She knew the guys really well before they were famous. And she sang backups for them during their Cavern Club period before they kind of burst onto the scene big time. She was one of their backing singers, so she knew them pretty well. She knew John Lennon probably the best out of the four of them. She knew Stuart Sutcliffe pretty well, their former bass player, who sadly died of a brain aneurysm. But yeah, so yeah, my connection to Liverpool is very, very, very special. And I have never lived there, but I have certainly spent quite a bit of time there. So yeah, that's my connection to Liverpool. Andy says, Happy New Year, guys. I'm going to have a glass of wine and watch the Eagles' farewell tour. Are they having a farewell tour again? Are they breaking up again? I mean, they said the last time they broke up that they'd never get together. Hell would freeze over before they would get together. And then they got back together again. So they made a record called Hell Frozen Over, which I thought was hilarious. So anyway, cheers to you, Andy. John Lake says, you are living Dad's army. I'm not quite sure what that means, but okay. I'm not quite sure what to make of that. My neighbour's here. He's just popped in. He says, hello all, happy new year to all. I'll not be hanging long, just spent 2 days remodeling my master bathroom. Yeah, I saw your pictures from that. Congratulations. I think you did, from what the pictures I saw, it looks like you were doing a spectacular job, so well done. But I'm glad you're here. I'm not going to be here for very long either because it's nearly 20 before 2 o'clock in the morning. And I have a very full day tomorrow. Not working, fortunately, but still a pretty full day. Lots going on here at Lipsham Manor, so I need to be up and about. Mike says, bathroom tub and shower walls. Had no clue what I was doing, so it wasn't fun. Yeah, doing it all yourself. Yeah, I would not recommend that. Kyle, that's funny. I like it. All right, folks. So, has anyone got anything else they would like to say about what they hope for 2021 before we end the show, which we will do soon? But I'd like to hear more of what you have to say, folks. About what you want to see in 2021. At least let's keep the show going long enough for me to finish this. That'd be cool. Mike says, my language got very colourful and then some. I can imagine you might have turned the air a little bit purple, maybe. Would I be right there? Yeah. At least you know what? You gave it a go, and that's something I wouldn't do. To be honest. It's no. I would probably kill myself or break something severely and have to call in an expert. So I'd rather just call the expert in to start with. So, that's what I would do. 9 electromagnetic. There you go. Reading it right for the first time. Sorry about that. Is here. He says, Happy New Year, Johnny. Happy New Year to you too. Welcome to the show. I'm glad you're here. I don't think I've seen your name in the chat before, so very glad to have you here. Normally I do this show on a Sunday night, and we normally have between 25 and 30 people here, and normally we kind of we have a particular topic that we talk about. And we normally would have a Q&A section afterwards. And you guys ask some of the best questions. And that's the other thing I wanted to say. Thank you very much to all of you guys for being here on shows like this one and asking the questions that you have asked this year. You have asked some of the best questions ever this year. And provided me with a lot of food for thought, and I've learned a lot from you guys, and I'm very, very much appreciative of all of you being here, and especially the number of you that are here every week, and every time you see me go live, you are here, and it's fantastic. I love the fact that you all know each other. I love the fact that you come in before I've even started the stream, and you're here and you're talking to each other and you're asking about each other and you're getting to know each other. It's great. I love it. I wouldn't change this for the world, and I'm not going to stop doing Sunday Night Live or things like that. I'm not going to stop doing live shows for the very, very foreseeable future. I'm just not going to be doing it. So this show will carry on indefinitely until either you guys get fed up with me doing it, or we run out of things to talk about, or we run out of things to cover. But for the most part, my intention is to keep going and to keep doing these shows, and to keep answering your questions, and to keep showing you guys new things that are in Studio One when they come up, and that kind of thing. That's kind of what I'm into, and that's kind of what this show is all about. So Peter Brooks says, thank you from all of us here for doing what you do. Well, you know what? I appreciate it very much. I try my best to put out a really good show that leaves you with something to think about and something to look at in Studio One that you've maybe not seen before, or learn a new songwriting technique, or learn a new mixing technique that you've not tried before, or even, some different chords that you've never tried out before in one of your songs. I try to bring you that stuff, and I hope that it helps you. I hope that this year I have helped shape how you think musically, how you think as a mix engineer, how you think as a composer, as a songwriter. I hope that I've been able to have some kind of impact, and I hope that over this year I've provided you guys with, tools, techniques, and new ways of thinking about how you make music. And I intend to keep doing that. So if you would like me to continue to have that kind of input into you guys, then please keep coming back. And if you know other people who you think, yes, this would be perfect for them, invite them along. Invite them to subscribe to my channel and get involved and become a part of this little community that we're building here. Because I love this community very much, and I love talking to you guys, and I love teaching you. And I love sharing with you the stuff that I've learned and the things that people have shared with me that have made me go, oh, wow, that's amazing. I've got to try that out. So thanks a lot, everybody. I really appreciate it all. Kyle says, I will visit Ken and Mike sometime in 2021. Well, that would be amazing. And if you do, you've got to, take some photos, right? Take some photos and make sure that we get to see them somehow. Post them up in the Home Studio Trainer Facebook page or something so that we can kind of see you guys hanging out. That would be great. Mike says, my intention is to sleep like a baby tonight. I very highly doubt I'll see midnight. I totally understand that. Really do. Peter says, it's nice to know there is a lot of people with the same interests. Aye, there really is. My good friend Brian Garrison. How are you, my friend? I've not seen you around for quite a while. But Brian is a great guy. And he's a good friend. He's one of my real loyal supporters on Facebook. And I'm very glad that you're here, Brian, and that you're watching my show, which, by the way, I'm just kind of about to kind of wrap up, I think. But thank you for being here, and a very, very happy New Year to you as well. Bob says, my goal for 2021 is just to try and be a kinder, better human being. Absolutely. That is a glorious and that is a fantastic aspiration to have, to be a better version of you. Then, so that you can look back at 2020 and say, yeah, I had some things that I had to learn and I've learned them. And here I am now in 2021 putting those things into practice. And I'm learning and I'm growing and I'm, the thing for all of us, certainly for me is, one of the things I pursue is humility and, kind of real proper humility, not kind of the fake humility that says, oh, man, maybe I'm not really that good. No, the kind of humility that seeks to serve and seeks to help other people and seeks to help other people grow. That's the kind of humility I'm talking about, that puts other people first and makes sure that other people shine. And by other people shining, that kind of makes me content and all warm inside. That's my personal aspiration for 2021, to be better at that, to be better at putting other people first and thinking less of myself than I do. And, beating the living daylights out of the selfishness that is rife within me so that I grow into a little bit more maturity and have a much better, much more powerful impact upon people. That's kind of what I want to do for this year. Peter says players out. What, you mean on the piano? Yeah, I could do that, or I don't know what to play, to be honest. But I don't know what to play because I don't want to get a copyright strike. I mean that would that would really be crap, wouldn't it? To get a copyright strike at this, at this point, that nearly 2:00 in the morning on the very first day of 2021. So I will maybe tinkle something that is totally improvised, and we'll see kind of what comes out. Let's see. Do we want to be an F? I don't know. Maybe it'll be an A flat. What do we think? A flat. I don't play an A flat very often, so maybe a bit of A flat major. Let's see. Let's have some piano instead. Let's have a bit of Steinway Concert Grand instead of the Fender Rhodes. I like the Fender Rhodes, but Something like that. All right, folks, we're going to call it a day there. Wait, nearly knocked over my glass. Happy New Year, everybody. Just Bob says, beautiful Johnny, I love the smoky jazz. You're welcome. Gotta call my mom, wish her a Happy New Year. Yep, Happy New Year to every single one of you. Thank you very much for coming, everybody. Really appreciate it. You guys really do completely 100% rock. And I'm just going to click that button there. And I'm going to bid you all a very fond farewell and a very happy new year. See you all in 2021. Take care. Everything's against me, my back against the wall, holding all the worst cards, I feel 2 feet tall. I'll stand and shout, no holding back. Do or die, gonna dig myself a hole. Oh, do or die, gonna dig myself a hole. Now I'm hanging tough, and I'm never falling back. When defense fails, I'm going on the attack. I stand and shout, no hope.